Hello YouTube, McBoro here. It's been a while. I hope everybody's having a super fun summer so far. Just over the last weekend, I was out to watch one of the most anticipated action movie of this summer, Detective Pikachu. And before the movie started, I actually saw the trailer of the latest Gazella movie. And guess what I saw in the trailer? This dude, the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. I mean, look at this thing. Tell me that's not him, right? But actually, the more I watch the trailer, it actually reminds me of something even older. You know, like a very ugly dragon with a glowy back, fighting another dragon that has 3 heads, and some big fireball falling down from sky. Yeah, they look very similar. If you haven't seen the scenes, they're actually from the season 0 of the Yugioh TV series. It's called season 0 because this season was never aired in North America. It's only aired in Japan, and it's very unique. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. It really shows why Yugi is called the king of games, not only the king of duel monsters. And at the end of season 0, they had a bonus episode, which was turned into a small movie called The Red Eyes Black Dragon. And if you watch that movie, inside there are some pretty interesting plots. Today, I'm going to give you a quick overview of what happened in that movie. So the movie started with a boy called Shogo, which is apparently a terrible duelist. One day, he walks into a car store, and by the extreme luck, he drew the extremely rare Red Eyes Black Dragon, which in Japanese is called Red Eyes Black Dragon. The store owner then explains to him that even though this is a very strong card, in order to win, you will still need a lot of courage, which Shogo has very little of.
You don't need courage. After all, who needs courage when you have a gun?
On his way back to home, he walks by the dueling center, inside which Yugi is teaching Joey how to play the game. It seems like Yugi is always teaching Joey how to play the game. Yugi first let Joey destroy one of his monsters, and then he summons a stronger monster and destroyed Joey's monster. Just when Joey is about to make a counterattack, Yugi already conveniently switched his monster to a defense position right after he attacked.
Wait, that's illegal.
While all this is happening, Shogo is getting bullied on the side. And how does he deal with bullies? He pulls out his brand new super rare mint condition card and showed it to all the bullies. And guess what? That scared the crap out of all of them. All of this was seen by Kaiba, who installed a lot of cameras everywhere just so he can look at girls' legs. Remember, this is before the whole Facebook privacy was a big issue, right? After that, Kaiba decided to host another tournament in which he invited all the duelists that has rare cards, including Shogo and Yugi. Of course, Kaiba's invitation is mandatory, so to really give them incentive, Kaiba's men beat up Yugi and Shogo and stole their Millennium Puzzle and then the Red Eyes Black Dragon. Joey tried his best to fight back, but he was only able to get back the card, not the puzzle. Not agreeing with what's happening, Yugi decided to go and face Kaiba. As soon as Yugi walks in, Kaiba gave the Millennium Puzzle back to Yugi. And in order to demonstrate true courage to Shogo, Yugi decided to hide behind his Millennium Puzzle and let Yami do all the actual dirty work. Yugi and Kaiba went through the typical back and forth. You know, you summon the monster, I summon a stronger one, and then you summon an even stronger one, and then I summon a even stronger one. Until the moment where Kaiba draws his lucky monster, the Blue Eyes White Dragon. And of course, Yugi would be a little concerned at the beginning, but then he would come back with a smart play with his Dark Magician and his magical hats. And this trap strategy was able to destroy one of the blue eyes. However, guess what? Kaiba has not 1, not 2, but 3 blue eyes. So he was actually able to summon the next blue eyes and killed the Dark Magician. So now Yugi is forced to only play monster in defense position now. Kaiba, just being his typical self, decided to do this. Well, Yugi, I could kill your monster with one of my blue eyes and then attack your life point with the other blue eyes. But why would I do that when I can actually summon all 3 of them and combine them into a single monster? So I can keep on attacking the defense position monsters that you have. Yugi was able to hold out for a few more turns by playing monsters in defense position, until Kaiba revealed his new magic card, On Guard, which apparently changes all monsters from defense to attack mode. And now, since I play this card, I have to wait for a turn to attack. Wait, why is that? Does it say that on the card? Nope, not at all. So Kaiba is just being stupid. At this point, Shogo finally realized that his card was stolen. He stood up and started yelling, "Where is my Red Eyes Black Dragon? I was waiting to hear those words! But now I'm going to summon the Red Eyes Black Dragon! And now I will use Fusion to combine them!" Wait, that card doesn't exist in this series yet. Now my newly summoned, super powerful but super ugly monster is going to destroy yours! Wait, why is that? Does this monster have a higher attack point? Nope. Does this monster have some special effect? Nope. So why did that happen? Hey man, this is just an animation. Stop using logic. And just like that, the OG of the Blue Ice Ultimate Dragon was destroyed. And just like a typical movie ending, everybody's happy, and Yugi thanked Shogo for his courage. You're gonna give him the card back, right? Nope, movie ended. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the board version of the movie plot summary. That is basically what happened to it. And now I'm going to quickly go over the physical cards that are connected to this story. Before Konami officially took over the Yugioh branding in 1999, it was actually Bandai that was releasing all the Yu-Gi-Oh merchandise, and they released a whole bunch of trading cards along with many other toys and little items. So they actually released, as far as I know, the only physically printed version of the dragon that you saw in the actual movie. Right here, they released them into 4 separate cards, which can then be combined into one giant card. And the name of this card is actually called Blue Ice White Dragon 3-Body Connection. It's not very cool. They really lack imagination there. But then this is basically the original form of the Blue Ice Ultimate Dragon. They released this before they were really thinking about how to fuse the dragons together using a fusion spell. And then you can see this dragon is actually really badass. I like that evil looking chain in the middle that's connecting all 4 cards. And then obviously, to make sure that you can summon this card, they released the Blue Eyes White Dragon as well. And this is, you can see there's a foil to it. So this is a super rare. I have 3 copies here in Japanese. And they also released the same card in English in the same sets. I'm not entirely sure why. It's one of the very few cards that they have released in English. I also have 3 copies here as well. But I guess people were still complaining, how do I summon these cards? And then it's such a gigantic cards. Where do I play it on the mat? So eventually they decided to come up with 2 promotional cards. A TA1, which is the Wicked Chain that is used to summon this dragon, and then also the 3-Body Connection into a single card. So yeah, these cards are pretty cool to play with. If you ask me why they, released the dragon in 4 separate cards along with a Wicked Chain, I can only think of one possibility, and that is when some players decide that they want to reenact the epic duel between Kaiba and Yugi, and something like this might happen.
It's time to...
I've assembled all the 5 needed cards!
Shut the fuck up, Yugi.
And I summon the mutated dragon with many arm heads and wings tied together by a chain. Yeah, that's literally what I think. The one interesting thing about this collection is that none of the cards here are actually worth a lot of money. These cards are all relatively easy to find. Except maybe the Wicked Chain, which is slightly harder, but it's not really valuable either. So from a total value perspective, this set of cards is actually pretty cheap if you want to add it to your collection. The only thing that is slightly harder to find is if you want to have the Wicked Chain in its original form, which is actually from a giant card inside of a magazine that is right next to a Digimon card. Before they got peeled out, this kind of original condition card is worth slightly more, not much more as well. So, I think this is something that I'm very happy to have in my collection as well. So there is one fun fact about this particular card, right? This 3-Body Connection cards here. To this date, I am still strongly convinced that this card is behind the urban legend that there is actually a really expensive Yu-Gi-Oh card out there called the Armored Blue Eyes White Dragon, or the Blue Eyes White Dragon with armor. Many years ago on the internet, there was this myth saying a super rare card is floating around that is worth anywhere between half to $1 million. There's many posts about it on Pojo. There's even a wiki page set up about it, but no one was ever able to produce any photo or evidence of such card existing. I believe what probably happened is somebody saw this card art and they were really amazed by the fact that there is a magical piece of metal in front of the blue eyes, and that's what actually got the legend started. Okay, that's it. As I said, these cards are not super valuable, but the story behind them is really great, so I love to have them in my collection. I hope you guys enjoy the story, and I hope you guys enjoy the cards as well. I will see you next time, and you better go check out the best action movie of the summer!